every time is quickly becoming one of my favorite songs. Because if you notice, as you sing that song with the various phrases, every time I see a child, every time I watch a storm, the respondent phrase gives a great visual of what, but when you sing that last, for the cross is different for everybody. And I think as you kind of conclude that, every time I see a cross, and I can't sing anymore because I've been at camp all week. Eric, I don't know how long my voice is going to last, Bo, so you're okay. I'm going to ask him about that later. Especially when Lance came to me this morning, Lance, great choice on the songs, all those from the Psalms. It's cool that many of our songs in the songbook are from the Psalms. And I know Lance said, when I texted him back this title, Singing and Screaming the Psalms. And I wonder, he didn't respond back. He didn't flinch. So I guess he figures, he knows what he's going to do. Well, if you look at the Psalms, and there's no way in a lesson tonight to give any kind of credit to the Psalms. And what I'm doing is that if those that have been here on Sunday evening through the year, this is a part of the story, the one story. Why in the world is there a book in the Bible that's just made up of pretty much songs? It was the hymnal of the first century church, the hymnal of the synagogue, the hymnal of the temple. If you would ask yourself the question, if God wrote a songbook, what would it look like? That's what it would be. By inspiration through David and many other writers, he gave songs. And I love the song that we sang there. You gave me a song to sing about. And it's just a powerful thing. There's another one, a contemporary song we're going to end with. We're not going to sing it. But it's the words to that song that I think the Psalms evoke. And in the Psalms, I believe God gives a voice to many things. I've had people through the years that come to me sometimes struggling to pray or struggling maybe even sometimes during worship, and I'm going, read the Psalms. The Psalms, in essence, are David's voice, his heart, shouted, screamed at times to the heavens. I'm sure there are times he sang these songs with a great deal of lightness and joy in his heart. There are other times he probably couldn't get through the words. He probably couldn't finish the song because of the emotion. And all I'm going to attempt to do tonight is share some of that with you. Because we're challenged in Ephesians and Colossians to sing to one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, making melody in your hearts to the Lord. So I'm just going to share 4 thoughts with you, and we're going to look at some psalms that hopefully verify those thoughts. Number 1, the psalms give voice to promises. Look over at Psalm 34. And like I said, we're just going to be in the Psalms tonight. 34 verses 18 and 19. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart, and save such as have a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. He guards all his bones, not one of them is broken. Even shall slay the wicked, and those who hate the righteous shall be condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants, and none of those who trust in him shall be condemned. Look at back Psalm 31, about verses 9 through 15. And listen, what I want you to do as we read these is to hear the way that the psalmist will evoke something, and God's promises are contained in the words of the song. Have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am in trouble. My eyes waste away with grief. You ever been there? Yes, my soul and my body. For my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing. My strength fails because of my iniquity. My bones waste away. I am a reproach among all my enemies, but especially among my neighbors. and I'm repulsive to my acquaintances. Those who see me outside flee from me. I am forgotten like a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel. For I hear the slander of many. Fear is on every side. While they take counsel together against me, they scheme to take away my life. How's he feel? That's not a good place to be. But as for me, I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from those who persecute. Make your face shine upon your servant. Save me for your mercy's sake. And kind of in response to this morning's lesson on being unashamed, do not let me be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon you. Let the wicked be ashamed. Let them be silent in the grave. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak insolent things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. Hear his heart. Lord, take care of me. Trust me. Look at Psalm 41. Psalm 41, verses 1 through 3. Blessed is he who considers the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive. He will be blessed on the earth. You will not deliver him to the will of his enemies. The Lord will strengthen him on his bed of illness. You will sustain him on his sick bed. God keeps his promises. Look at Psalm 30. Verse number 2. Very simple statement. It's in the context of a praise song. But in verse 2, he simply says, O Lord my God, I cried out to you and you healed me. Psalm 6. Just go back to where have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is greatly troubled. But you, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver me. Save me for your mercy's sake. And I mean, like I said, we're just looking at just a touch of the Psalms. But the Psalms are filled with moments of David and other writers pleading with God for the promises of deliverance and healing and comfort and assurance. The Psalms give voice to pain. I don't know any way to do this but to read a couple of Psalms that as you read them, and we're not going to read the entirety. Because I do want to read. Let's do 40. Mark 69, and at some time read that on your own. Because I want to read the entirety of this psalm, and I want you to hear the pain that's in it. Psalm 40. I said, I will guard my ways, lest I sin with my tongue. I will restrain my mouth with a muzzle, like the wicked are before me. I was mute with silence. I held my peace even from good, and my sorrow was stirred up. My heart was hot with, I'm reading from 39. That's not the one I wanted to read. Yes, it is. I marked the wrong psalm. Stay 39. My heart was hot within me while I was musing, the fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue, Lord, make me to know my end. And what is the measure of my days, that I may know how frail I am? And dude, you've made my days as handbreadths, and my age is as nothing before you. Certainly every man is at his best state is but vapor. Surely every man walks about like a shadow. Surely they busy themselves in vain. He heaps up riches and does not know who will gather them. And now, Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in you. Deliver me from my transgressions. Do not make me the reproach of the foolish. I was mute. I did not open my mouth, because it was you who did it. Remove your plague from me. I am consumed by the blow of your hand. When with rebukes you correct man for iniquity, you make his beauty melt away like a moth. Surely every man is a vapor. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear to my cry. Do not be silent at my tears. For I am a stranger with you, a sojourner, as all my fathers were. Remove your gaze from me, that I may regain strength, before I go away and am no more. That's Psalm 69. In fact, it's a length. I'm not going to read it all, but just for a moment, flip over to Psalm 69. Just the opening. Just, again, get the visual of this emotion, this feeling that he has. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in deep mire where there is no standing. I've come into deep waters where the floods overflow me. I am weary with my crying. My throat is dry. My eyes fail while I wait for my God. And I mean, that's just, can you feel the anguish, the pain? See, what's really interesting to me is that the Psalms give a voice to pain. I'm going to remind you of something toward the end, but I want to tell you now, you will never find a better listener than God. I don't mean this flippantly, but people pay thousands of dollars for someone to listen to them. To just intently hear their struggle. And God, from the beginning of time, is this all? It is. God, from the beginning of time, said, I'm listening. He wants to hear. And one of the things I like, he's big enough to hear. I don't care what. David screamed at God, questioned his validity, would almost say, where have you gone? Why have you left me here? What are you doing? It's okay to give voice to that pain. One of the really neat things that the Psalms give voice to is peace. Psalm 29, and if you were doing some of these selections, you'd do, I'm sure, others. But there's something peaceful about what we're about to read in the Psalms with David. Psalm 129, verses 1 to 11, the entirety of the psalm. Give unto the Lord, O you mighty ones. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due to his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Why? Because the voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory over thunders. The Lord is over many waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. Yes, the Lord splinters the cedars of Lebanon. He makes them also skip like a calf. Lebanon and Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord divides the flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shakes the wilderness. The Lord shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord makes the deer give birth and strips the forest bare. And in his temple everyone says, glory. The Lord sat enthroned at the flood, and the Lord sits as king forever. The Lord will give strength to his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. There's a peace in knowing God's got this. There's nothing he's not more powerful than. His power, his might, his majesty provides peace. Psalm 119, slap in the middle of the longest psalm as it is at least arranged. All of the verses in Psalm 119 seem something about some aspect of truth or the words of the Lord or the testimony or the law of the Lord. And in 165 he says this, great peace have those who love your law, and nothing causes them to stumble. There is a security in knowing the word of the Lord. Psalm 4 and verse 8. Psalm 4 and verse 8. I will both lie down in peace and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. One of the things I made a statement with last week at camp was Carolina Bible Camp has been blessed through the years in many, many ways. But one of the great blessings is the integrity of and the desire of the board of directors and all individuals who have worked at camp for Carolina Bible Camp to be a place where children can be safe and at peace. It would blow your mind to know some of the stories through the years of children who have come to camp. And they come into a place where people love them and treat them kindly, and they don't come from that environment. It is amazing the transition in children in just a few days when they can just be themselves and feel safe. That's the peace that God provides marvelously for us. Psalm 85 and verse 8. 85 and verse 8. I will hear. Oh, where do you get there? 85 and verse 8. I will hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people and to his saints, but let them not turn back to folly. The word of the Lord provides that comfort. And then one that we sing, Psalm 46 and verse number 10. This one immediately you'll recognize. One of the hardest things for us in the world to do, at least for me, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. And then, absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, it gives voice to peace, gives voice to praise. So many of the Psalms talk about the adoration, the majesty, the nature of God. We're going to look at just a couple. Psalm 21. Listen to David's ability to place God in a place that he so rightly deserves. Psalm 21, the entire verse, the entire chapter. The king shall have joy in your strength, O Lord, and in your salvation how greatly shall he rejoice. You have given him his heart's desire and have not withheld the request of his lips. For you meet him with the blessings of goodness. You set a crown of pure gold upon his head. You asked life from you, and you gave it to him, length of days, forever and ever. His glory is great in your salvation. Honor and majesty you've placed upon him, for you have made him most blessed forever. You made him exceedingly glad with your presence. For the king trusts in the Lord, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Your hand will find all your enemies. Your right hand will find those who hate you. You shall make them as a fiery oven in the time of your anger. And the Lord shall swallow them up with his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. The offspring you shall destroy from the earth, their descendants from among the sons of men. For they intended evil against you. They devised a plot which they're not able to perform. Therefore you will make them turn their back. You will make them ready your arrows and your string toward their faces. Be exalted, O Lord, in your strength. We will sing and praise your power. And that's a strange praise song. That's praise that he's taking care of my enemies. I told you, God gives a voice to what we need. And David, and many times in his life, look at Psalm 30. He needed a praise song in the middle of a battle. Psalm 30, the writers make some assumptions sometimes when the Psalms are written that this most likely was done near or close to the dedication of the temple. Maybe, maybe not. It speaks to the house of God and that praise. I will extol you, O Lord, for you have lifted me up and have not let my foes rejoice over me. O Lord my God, I cried out to you and you healed me. You brought my soul from the grave. You kept me alive that I should not go down to the pit. Sing praise to the Lord, you saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holy name. And this right, for his anger is but for a moment, and his favor is for life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. In my prosperity, I said, I shall never be moved. Lord, by your favor, you've made my mountain stand strong. You hid your face and I was troubled. I cried to you, O Lord, and to the Lord I made supplication. What profit is there in my blood? When do I go down to the pit? Will the dust praise you? Will it declare your truth? Hear, O Lord, and have mercy on me. Lord, be my helper. Another song we sing at camp. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have put off my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praise to you and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever. Look at Psalm 34. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make its boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. Magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him and were radiant. Their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried out and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all of his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps all around those who fear him. You want an Old Testament reference for that? Remember the prophet Elisha? There's more of them than there are of us. Lord, open his eyes. We may be okay. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. Fear the Lord, you his saints. There is no want to those who fear him. The young lions lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is the man who desires life and loves many days that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart, and saves such as have a contrite heart. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them out of them all. He guards all his bones. Not one of them is broken. Evil slays the wicked, and those who hate the righteous shall be condemned. The Lord redeems the soul of his servants. And none of those who trust in him shall be condemned. And one last Psalm, 138. If there's something that also is given a voice in the Psalms from time to is passion. You can't read these Psalms without hearing the heart and the energy of David. I will praise you with my whole heart. Before the gods, little g, I will sing praise to you. I will worship toward your holy temple and praise your name for your loving kindness and your truth, for you have magnified your word above all your name. In the day when I cried out, you answered me and made me bold with strength in my soul. All the kings of the earth shall praise you, O Lord, when they hear the words of your mouth. They will sing of the ways of the Lord, for great is the glory of the Lord. Though the Lord is on high, yet he regards the lowly, but the proud he knows from afar. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you will revive me. You will stretch out your hand against the wrath of my enemies, and your right hand will save me. The Lord will perfect that which concerns me. Hear that? Anything concerning you? Your mercy, O Lord, endures forever. Do not forsake the work of your hands. You see, God gave David and other writers permission to speak. God is the best listener ever. The song I made reference to earlier is one that was done by a cappella several years ago. It starts out with these words. You put a song, the title of the song, you put a song in my soul when you made me. The words are, you put a song in my soul and I want to let it out. The Spirit in my life, it makes me want to shout. I'm moved to sing with every beat of my heart. You put a song in my soul when you made me. And there are various times in our lives that song is one of joy. There are other times in our lives that's a song of sorrow. And there are some times in our life that it just may be a song that can't be sung, but it's got to be screamed. Because we don't know how else to say it. And in any one of those moments, God's going to still be listening. So I don't know where you are tonight. I don't know what song you're singing. Music, those that know me, has always had a powerful place in my heart. And through every journey we've had as a family, there have been songs that have given voice to our triumphs and to our trials. So tonight, If there's something you need to sing to God, if it's a struggle, sing it. If it's a joy, sing it. Because that is what gives voice to praise and pain and peace before God. We can help in any way tonight. Our elders are available as we sing this song for you to respond, either initial penitent faith, confession, and baptism. It can be some trial that you're going through that you need the prayers of this wonderful family. In any way that you can be assisted, please come as we stand and as we sing.